If you think Costco is the only retail giant that hasn't changed in 2026, you're wrong. While a lot of people are only paying attention to Walmart's controversial changes, Costco has also been quietly changing a lot of things that directly affect your food and your wallet. The exact same item can have two different prices. Some Medicare money can now be used right at checkout for certain items at Costco. And some familiar products are still sitting on the shelves, but behind the scenes where they're made has changed. Today we're going to look at 10 major Costco changes involving food in 2026, and see where each one can actually save you money, and where it means you need to be a little more careful. And at the end of the video I'll also share a little bonus, the things I think are worth buying right now, this week, along with the things I'd still leave on the shelf or keep waiting on until the price gets better. If you're someone who still shops at Costco every week or every month, this is a video you don't want to miss. Change number 10. Costco starts selling smaller food packages. Costco just did something that almost goes against its own DNA. It's selling you less. And don't celebrate just yet, because less doesn't mean cheaper. Take the bagels. For years, Costco made customers buy 2 packs with 6 bagels in each pack for a total of 12 bagels at around $5.99. But in 2026, some stores switched to selling 1 pack of 8 bagels for $4.99. That sounds good. You're only paying about $1 less at checkout. But do the math before each bagel cost only about 50 cents. Now it's more than 62 cents. That means the price per bagel has gone up by nearly 25%. So I wouldn't call this a price cut. But I also wouldn't rush to call it a disguised price increase. The reason is simple: not every household needs 12 bagels. A lot of shoppers say they used to skip them because they couldn't finish them, didn't want to stuff more into the freezer, or simply didn't have enough storage space. One older viewer in the comments on a competitor's video also said that after he and his wife downsized, they bought less at Costco because the packages were too big and their refrigerator just didn't have enough room anymore. For single people, 2-person households, or older adults, 8 bagels may make more sense. You spend less money each time and you may throw away less food. But if your household can easily finish 12 bagels, you're losing some of that price per bagel advantage. My tip is very simple: don't just look at the price of the whole package. Look at the price per item, then ask yourself how much you're actually going to eat. Cheap food that ends up in the trash, it doesn't save you a single cent. And this is only the beginning. Costco isn't just changing how much food you bring home. The next change also affects the way you've been used to shopping at Costco for years. Change number 9. Costco lets you order cakes right in the app. There's one thing about Costco that I found hard to understand for years. They can sell you a huge cake at a great price, but the way you order one felt like it never made it into the smartphone era. In the past, if you wanted to order a custom cake, a lot of customers had to go all the way to the store, fill out a paper form, drop it into an order box, then come back a few days later to pick it up. In 2026, Costco finally changed that. Members in the United States can now order custom cakes directly through the Costco app. You just sign in with an account that is a verified membership to choose the store where you want to pick up the cake, and send in the order right from your phone. I'll say it plainly. This isn't some amazing piece of technology. This is just something Costco should have done a long time ago, but the practical benefits are very clear. If you live far from Costco, you're getting ready for a birthday, or you're planning a family party, you can cut out an entire trip just to order the cake. Less time, less gas money. And there's another kind of savings that's harder to see. You don't have to walk into Costco one extra time and accidentally come home with a bunch of things that were never on your list. Still, the system isn't completely convenient yet. Costco requires you to order the cake at least 3 days ahead, and only lets you order up to 2 weeks in advance. If you want to change or cancel the order, you still have to contact the store directly. Costco.com also isn't taking custom cake orders right now, and the paper order forms at the counter are still available. So my tip is to place the order as soon as you've locked in the date of the party, and double check the pickup store before you confirm. Getting it right the first time saves you from having to call back later to fix the order. Costco is finally willing to change some processes that have gotten way too old. But with the next change, what's interesting is a price they're still trying to keep exactly the same, even though almost everything around it has gotten more expensive. Change number 8. Costco changed the hot dog combo but keeps the price at $1.50. $1.50 barely buys you a decent fast food item in America anymore. But at Costco, that amount still gets you both a hot dog and a drink. And in 2026, Costco finally made a change to this combo. No, they haven't raised the price. If there's one number Costco seems almost unwilling to touch, it's $1.50. The change is in the drink. At many stores, customers can now get the hot dog with a 20-ounce fountain soda still with refills, or switch to a 16.9-ounce bottle of Kirkland water. The price stays the same. For a combo that's been around since 1985, the fact that Costco is even willing to change the drink option is worth noticing. But really, the bottle of water isn't what interests me most. What matters is that Costco changed the combo while still refusing to change the price. Costco hasn't announced one single reason for this change, so I'm not going to dress it up and say, they did it only for your health. But demand isn't the same as it used to be. Not everyone who eats a hot dog wants a soda. A bottle of water has no sugar, it has a cap, and it's more convenient when you still have to push a whole cart out to the parking lot. Who benefits people who don't drink soda, people trying to cut back on sugar, and parents buying for the whole family? But if you're only looking at how much drink you get, the fountain soda still has the advantage because it's bigger and you can get refills. And here's what I want you to remember. The $1.50 combo doesn't make your whole grocery cart cheaper. It just keeps alive the feeling that there's still one thing at Costco that hasn't followed inflation. The tip is simple. If you want the most drink, get the soda. If you don't drink soda, take the water. Don't choose out of habit and then waste it. But the next change isn't something Costco gets to decide on its own. Depending on where you live, the same basket of food may no longer be paid for the same way. Change number 7. SNAP is changing what you can buy at Costco. Imagine holding the exact same can of soda and swiping the exact same EBT card you've always used. In one state, the payment goes through. Cross into the state next door, and that exact same item might be rejected. In 2026, something that sounds that ridiculous has become a reality. The reason is that SNAP no longer works exactly the same way in every state. The federal government has approved several states to test restrictions on certain types of food that can be purchased with SNAP. Texas starts on April 1st, excluding sugary drinks and candy. Florida restricts soda, energy drinks, candy, and prepared desserts. Hawaii starts restricting soda in August. Tennessee is also targeting certain processed foods and drinks such as soda, energy drinks, and candy. And I'm not going to turn a Costco trip into an argument about what other people should or shouldn't eat. I care about one thing, which items your card can still pay for, and which items now have to be paid for, with actual money out of your own pocket. That's the part that really matters. If your family keeps buying the same can of soda or the same bag of candy as before, the cost doesn't disappear. The only thing that changes is where the money comes from. For SNAP users, especially families with a fixed food budget, out-of-pocket spending can go up, even if the shopping cart doesn't change at all. On top of that, the USDA is also proposing tighter standards for the staple foods that SNAP stores have to keep in stock, increasing the requirement from 3 to 7 varieties in each major food category. But right now, this is still only a proposal. It is not a new rule that's already in effect. And given the amount of food Costco carries, I don't think this is the part that's going to give them the biggest headache anyway. The tip is very simple. Check your own state's SNAP rules before buying items that are likely to be restricted, and have another form of payment ready so you don't get caught off guard at checkout. But just as one type of benefit is being narrowed in some places, Costco is opening the door for another type of benefit to go straight to the checkout counter. Change number 6. Medicare benefits can now be used right at the Costco checkout. There's a pool of money that a lot of people still think is only for medicine, but in 2026, for some Costco members, that money can go straight toward the cart they're pushing. But don't take that to mean Medicare is paying for food for everybody. It's not that simple. Costco now accepts certain prepaid benefit cards that come with Medicare Advantage plans right at the checkout counter. These are not regular Medicare cards. You have to be enrolled in a plan that includes the right kind of benefit, and that card has to be accepted by Costco. What's important is that this money isn't only for prescription drugs. Depending on the plan, you may be able to use it for over-the-counter medicine, vitamins, certain healthcare products, glasses, and hearing products, and even some eligible foods. This is the part I think can really be worth something. If an item you normally have to pay for out of pocket can now be covered by your benefits, that's real savings. Not the kind where they knock a few dollars off the sign and then get you to buy 3 more things. This change is especially meaningful for older adults living on a fixed income. When every part of the monthly budget is already tightly divided up, keeping a few dozen dollars in your pocket for food, vitamins, or over-the-counter medicine is absolutely not a small thing. But there's one trap: don't see that Costco accepts the card and assume the whole cart will be covered. Every plan has its own list of eligible items, its own balance, and its own rules. I wouldn't wait until the card is full to find out whether the card works. Before you go, check 3 things: whether the card can be used at Costco, how much benefit money you have left, and which items are actually eligible. Then prioritize the things you are already planning to buy. Using up all your benefits doesn't automatically mean you're saving money. So we've made it halfway through the list. If at least one of these changes has made you rethink the way you shop at Costco, give the video a like, because the next change takes Costco much further from the checkout counter into the healthcare system itself. Change number 5. Costco goes deeper into Medicare and turns membership into a healthcare ecosystem. Buy the wrong bag of bagels and you lose a few dollars. Pick the wrong Medicare plan and the cost could be which doctors you can see, which medications are covered, and thousands of dollars out of pocket. And now Costco is getting ready to put its own name into that business. On August 18, 2026, Costco and Scan announced plans to develop jointly branded Medicare plans. Medicare Advantage is expected to launch in 2 states, while Medicare supplemental insurance is expected in a 3rd state, with the first markets covering about 5 million people who are eligible for Medicare. Costco is getting ready to test this in a few markets before taking it any further. And if you're already Medicare age or getting close to it, I think this is a change worth watching right now. Don't wait until it's time to choose a plan before you start looking into it. The important thing is that Costco isn't turning itself into an insurance company. Scan is the one with experience running Medicare plans. Costco brings in what it already does very well: its brand millions of members, and a healthcare service system that's already built into its stores. Just look at what a Costco member can already do. Fill prescriptions at the pharmacy, buy vitamins and over-the-counter products, get glasses, and use hearing services. Now Medicare is being pulled into that same system. And this is the part I find most interesting. Costco doesn't just want to sell you more stuff. It wants more and more of your household's essential spending to go through the same membership. But the deeper Costco gets into healthcare, the bigger the bet it's making on its reputation. The audience reaction makes that very clear. The most liked comment called Costco one of the best companies in America. But right below it, plenty of people said they love Costco without automatically trusting Medicare Advantage. One person even warned that if benefits get denied or customers run into problems when they need care, they won't just blame the insurance company. Costco's name will get pulled into it too. That's the paradox. Trust is what helps Costco get into Medicare, but Medicare could also become the toughest test of that very trust. If the plan shows up in your state check, whether your doctors are in network, how your current medications are covered, and what your real total costs would be. You might buy a $1.50 hot dog on trust. Health insurance is something you need to read every detail of. And next we're going back to a much more familiar expense, where simply choosing the wrong way to buy can make you pay a different price for the exact same Costco item. Change number 4, you can pay 2 different prices for the exact same Costco item. This is the kind of change I think a lot of people won't notice until they add everything up at the end of the month. You're buying the exact same Costco item using the exact same membership card, and you may even still be earning your 2% reward. But just because you didn't walk into the store yourself, the price is different. In 2026, Costco is pushing harder into online shopping and same-day grocery delivery. The speed has gotten noticeably faster too. Costco says same-day delivery in the United States now averages under 45 minutes, and that service is growing faster than its overall digital business. That sounds convenient. And it really is. But that convenience comes at a price. Costco makes it very clear that product prices on its same-day delivery service are marked up compared with prices at your local warehouse. That difference helps pay for Instacart's delivery service. Orders also have to meet a minimum of $35. So I want you to break one habit: don't see the Costco logo and automatically assume you're getting the same Costco warehouse price. Let's say you order $150 worth of groceries every week. If online prices are even a little higher across several items, that small difference gets repeated 52 times over the course of a year. At that point, you're not just paying a few extra cents for a carton of milk. You're paying a convenience fee that's been spread across every item. There's one detail I think is especially worth noticing. If you're an executive member, Costco calculates your 2% reward on same-day delivery orders based on the original warehouse price before the markup is added. Put simply, the 2% reward doesn't make the markup disappear. I don't think home delivery is a bad choice. If you're older, caring for a family member, live far from Costco, or it saves you an hour of driving, paying a few extra dollars may be completely worth it. But call it what it is you're buying: time, not just groceries. My tip is that before placing a big order, open the Costco app and check the local warehouse price on a few of the most expensive items. Costco now lets members see warehouse prices and inventory, although the information can be a little delayed. If the difference is only a few dollars, I'll take the convenience. If it turns into $20 or $30, I'm grabbing my car keys. And at number 3, the issue is no longer where you buy it. A very familiar Kirkland item is coming back at a time when its main ingredient has become more expensive than ever. Change number 3. Kirkland Chocolate Chips are back, but cocoa prices have changed the game. A Kirkland item coming back to the shelf doesn't mean the old price comes back with it, and this bag of chocolate chips shows very clearly how Costco thinks about value. Back in 2024, Costco pulled Kirkland semi-sweet chocolate chips from the shelves, not because they weren't selling well, but because cocoa prices had gone up so much. Ingredient costs at the time led Costco to estimate that the Kirkland bag could reach around $16.99, which meant it might not even be cheaper than the major brand sitting next to it. To me, that's the interesting part. Costco is willing to drop one of its own Kirkland products if the Kirkland name no longer gives customers a clear enough advantage. Now, after about 2 years, the 4.5-pound bag of Kirkland chocolate chips is coming back. But I wouldn't buy it just because I remember it being cheap before. Prices can vary from one store to another, and between shopping in person and getting delivery. So look at the current price, then compare the price per ounce with the product next to it. And there's another calculation that's easy to overlook. 4.5 pounds is more than 2 kilograms of chocolate. If your household bakes a lot, it could be a great buy. But if you only use chocolate chips once in a while, a good price per ounce doesn't mean much if half the bag sits in your pantry all year. Costco can win on the price per ounce. You only win if you actually use it all, and this bag of chocolate is just one sign. At number 2, the Kirkland name is showing up more and more throughout your grocery cart. Change number 2. Costco is expanding Kirkland more aggressively in 2026. Next time you're at Costco, look at your whole cart. Kirkland milk, Kirkland olive oil, Kirkland snacks, Kirkland frozen meat. You may think you're just picking a few cheaper items, but for Costco, every Kirkland item also gives them more control over pricing. And in 2026, Costco is pushing this brand much harder. In just the first 2 quarters of fiscal 2026, Costco launched dozens of new Kirkland products. In food that includes crispy wings, seasoned salmon, ultra-filtered milk, sea salt, popcorn energy drinks, and plenty of other items. When Costco sells another company's product, it has to work with that supplier's prices and terms. But with Kirkland, Costco has more control over choosing the manufacturer, changing the formula, adjusting the package size, and setting the final price. Costco has long aimed to keep Kirkland around 15 to 20% cheaper than comparable major brand products while still trying to match or beat them on quality. And this year there have been times when they actually lowered prices as costs came down. Kirkland butter dropped from around $13.89 to $8.49. Organic coconut water dropped from $12.79 to $10.99. 2-liter extra virgin olive oil also dropped by about $5. Crispy wings dropped from $16.99 to $14.99. That's what I care about. When Costco's costs go down, do they pass some of those savings along to you on the price tag? In these cases, the answer is yes. But Costco can't hold prices down and just by expanding Kirkland. Behind every item, there's a factory, a country of origin, shipping costs, and import taxes. And that's where the biggest change of 2026 is happening. Change number 1, Costco is changing its supply sources to keep food prices down. Costco's biggest change in 2026 may happen without you seeing anything different on the shelf. The same bottle of oil, the same bag of coffee, the same Kirkland logo, but behind it there could be a different factory, a different country, and a completely different supply chain. And this is where Costco is making its biggest move. As import taxes and product costs change, Costco says it can shift where products are made, buy more from domestic sources, combine buying power across the different markets, and use Kirkland to keep tighter control over the supply chain. Put simply, if the old way of sourcing an item makes it too expensive, Costco is looking for another way before passing that entire increase onto your bill. And this is where a lot of the changes we've just talked about start connecting. Bagels change size. Chocolate chips disappear and then come back. Kirkland expands. Some items get their prices cut again. It all comes back to one question: how much of the cost can Costco still control before the item reaches you? But I don't blame every price increase on tariffs either. Ingredient costs, transportation, seasonal conditions, and supply can all change the math. What I care about more is what happens in the other direction. When costs go down, does Costco lower prices? This year they've cut prices in some categories like eggs, cheese, coffee, and a number of Kirkland products. That's what I want to see on the price tag, not a speech about value. Costco is even trying to recover some of the import taxes it has already paid. If that money actually comes back, the company says it will return that value to members. I'll remember that promise. and I'll check my receipt. But we're not done yet. I've still got a little bonus, a few things worth buying right now, and a few things I'd leave on the shelf or wait for a better price on. What to buy and what to avoid at Costco this week. Alright, we've gone from bagels to Medicare to supply chains. But if I walked into Costco tomorrow with my own money, I wouldn't stand in the middle of the aisle thinking about all of that. I'd only ask 2 questions of what's worth putting in the cart and what should stay on the shelf. My list is pretty short. Things I'd buy right now. First is Kirkland butter if my store still has a good price on it. It's something I use regularly and I can divide it up and freeze it so the larger package actually makes sense. Next is Kirkland olive oil. If the local price is still good, I'm buying it. But if it takes your household a whole year to finish a big bottle, skip it. A cheap price per ounce doesn't make old oil taste any better. And those Kirkland chocolate chips that just came back. If my family bakes regularly, I do a quick comparison with the bag next to it. If Kirkland is cheaper and I know we'll use it all, it goes in the cart. Now, for the things that I leave behind or wait on, I'm not buying a huge package just because it's 14 cents cheaper per ounce. If half of it ends up in the trash, Costco wins, and I lose. I'm also not ordering a whole cart of groceries for home delivery without comparing prices first. A few urgent items can be convenient, but if it's groceries for the whole week, and I can still go myself, the markup on each item can add up very quickly. And with a new Kirkland product my family has never tried before, I'm not buying a 3-month supply just because the price tag looks attractive. If there's one rule I take away from all the changes in 2026, it's this: don't ask whether Costco is cheap. Ask whether this item in this amount at this price is actually cheap for your household. 2 families can stand in front of the exact same price tag. One saves money. The other just takes home a bargain that they never end up using. Costco is still one of the best places to shop in 2026, especially if you know what you're looking for and you're willing to compare prices. But after these 10 changes, one thing is pretty clear. Not every change is completely good or completely bad. Some help you save more, some make shopping more convenient, and some force you to look a little more carefully before putting something in your cart. What about you? Which change on this list caught your attention the most? Do you think Costco is moving in the right direction? Or is there something that's making you a little more cautious? And if you have a Costco shopping tip that actually saves real money, share it below. I think the comment section can help a lot of people avoid spending money they don't need to spend. If you want to keep following changes in prices of products and the way Costco operates in 2026, subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we'll have even more things worth checking out.